So, due to a slight technicality on my end, I decided to switch up what I was going to do. So, here are my next Pokemon on Sun and Moon vlogs. Vlogs of the Ultra Vintage season. Now, as everyone Vintage Ultra Space can officially open up the first part of this two-parter, basically Unwilling, and spoilers ahoy, folks. Everyone enters ultra space, and the whole area is a bizarre place where normal real-world logic and proportion don't apply. Yet, it still makes more sense to me than watching right now. Ha! Topical humor. Much like in the games, Nozomi is bonded with Nihilego, and its toxins have brought out even more of her personality's malicious traits. Even with all this happening, everyone must defeat Nihilego and rescue Nozomi from its control in order to rescue her, and Nozomi Ultra Beast enveloped her and is clutched to give her what she desires most. Despite Lucimene's demands to stay away, conveniently, the bluffs in Ultra Space make platforms for everyone to follow her on. As everyone chases Nihilego into Ultra Space, his Gladion rationalizes that the way Lucimene's acting is like a child getting a toy they've always wanted, and that she's been wanting to be an Ultra Beast ever since she was a little girl. Well, not exactly the way it was in the games, it works a different way, definitely. Whatever the case may be, everyone must stop Nihilego in order to rescue Lucime, but her own desires being used against her is not the only thing making that tough. In terms of the energy outside Ultra Space is creating more obstacles as granting her Pokemon the Aura Totem Pokemon. Different like the challenges is they pose in the games, while being able to unlock them in Ultra Sun and Moon. By the same token, I really like how, well, rather than the usual gym leaders, the island challenges in the anime pose new ways how the heroes train to clear them, and this two parts are a good example of that. One of the members of the roster is Salazzle, rather fitting, I must say. On that note, while Guzma and Plumeria don't appear in this part of the story, most of what I'm seeing in this animation is consistent with the test that they had a while back. I can only imagine what Plumeria would say about Tup and Hislandit, and will, of course, when the time comes. Another one she has a Milotic. Maybe more of a Gardevoir guy. It doesn't surprise me someone like her would have a Pokemon that resembles her own warped personality and standards of beauty. She also has Miss Magius on tap. While my favorite ghost type is still Duskmoor, when I can't deny this little witch's appeal. Hell, there may be many that are about to get burnt these days, but this isn't one of them. Interestingly, she has an Absol in her roster here, since Beware's Team Rocket's aforementioned bodyguard slash nurseman in this anime instead. Interesting choice. Personally, I would have gone with Zoroark or Mightyena. What does mean her roster purpose a little against her favorite trickery of her fighting prowess is shown with Hypnotic Teeter Dance. What makes the fight one of the most personal ones in the series so far, however, is her family Clefable. While most of the classmates hate to deal with Lucimene's main roster, Lily tries to get through the Clefable and Lucimene will Ash glad and fight Nihilego. As Clefable ready to attack, Lily pulls a Pokédoll she had in her bag out, leading to a flashback of when they were living together at Lucimene's estate. This finally breaks control of the Ultra Beast from Lucimene's supernatural influence. Now, into the second half of this vlog, 10 million reasons to fight. While Sophocles fights off Milotic with the help of his Togedemaru and Charjabug, Malostini is able to coax Wild away with its own sweet scent and use a special move against the Lilligant of Atlanta's Rowlaunch. Once Ash, Gladion, and Lily still fighting Nihilego, but their paths blocked by river poison so corrosive it burns on contact. Thankfully, he not only is Solgaleo part Steel type, Clefable has a magic guide ability, and Gladion installs Steam Immunity and Savelli, making all three of them immune to poison. Could this be any less metal? Now, there are only a few more Lucimene's Pokemon remaining as she's in Nihilego's control. Gladion then uses a special move as Midnight Lycanroc, Continental Crush. With an increasing amount of text thrown at her, Lucimene is still not yield, only decides to try one more thing to get through to her. Tell off everything she wants to say to her. I think I will let Larry speak for herself. Trust me, you watch this episode, you're gonna know how I love that line that she says, so despite what many have said, Lily's actually awesome. With this, Lucimene snaps out of her trance, and now the only thing left to do is defeat Nihilego. At that moment, Ash's power starts glowing and surging electricity almost as hat blows off from the sheer force. It's like TMZ is transformed into Pikachu Z, is able to use a special move, 10 million volt Thunderbolt. It is impressive as in the game's themes and the Juju movie, Pikachu pulls an his hat and uses Z power to move a take out not Lego with a single stroke. Essentially, and finally freeing Lusamine from its grasp. So with the Ultra Beast driven away, Lusamine rescued, everyone returns. Ultra Space Beaver goes hopping back to home when Timok in her arms. A little bit of the future. The motherly instincts make sense. Sensei has to stuff on her own keep for now, and even called her mom in the cutest way. We'll talk in the next season. Everyone also please return victorious. Games, of course, say they're the best. So after all the intensity with the Sensei Pally universe, we close on a light note where launch took Sophocles by souvenirs picked from outer space. Fitting a good example of the everybody laughs ending. I'm so glad I was able to finally tell you guys all about these episodes. As an adaptation of one of the best-selling video games that show its own merit, these two episodes show one of the best in the Sun and Moon series. The reason animation style is easily the best way they could have done these parts of the story, while different from the games did it. It's a great example of how an adaptation can often do something in another medium works a different way than the source. As I stated before, it's even why one was Spider-Man is a modern high school comedy being one from Houston in the 80s. Another one is one that shows what it would be like a character to wear the mask in this day and age with you on your PlayStation controller. I also have one more Sun and Moon vlog to do to close out this part. It's also one I've been wanting to do for a long time. See you, Space Cowboy.